Good morning, hello, it's Daniel, this is the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. It's Saturday morning, and Saturday morning has started a little bit crazy. At least you can't be on camera wearing what you're currently not wearing, basically. Liz has had a lie-in this morning for the first time in ages, right? Yeah, and the chicken door hasn't opened, so the chickens have been cooped in until about 9:15, so they're not happy. The cats aren't happy because it's been raining, so they've been inside, so they're full of energy, and well, it's just a little bit mayhem. Chickens everywhere. Right, today I am doing some indoor training because of course it is a bit drizzly, and I do need to get like a specific session done. So coach has set me what is titled like a time trial preparation session. Oh god, sorry. But it's a bit of like sort of like high-end sweet spot, low-end threshold work. I'll get the session loaded up now, we'll have a look at it. Alright, so I've stepped away from the mayhem. Liz has changed the chicken door batteries and that seems to have fixed it, which is perfect. There's no warning for the low battery apparently this time, which is a problem if you're a chicken and you want to get up in the morning. So, this is the session. So, it's a 20-minute warm. It's 2.5 hours in total this session, so it's quite a long one. 18 minutes at 288. Now Zwift does round up to the nearest like 10 watts I think, so that'll be 290. 12 minutes at 304. Hopefully that rounds down to 300. 10 minutes recovery, then the same thing again. So essentially half an hour broken up into 18 minutes at slightly less and 12 minutes slightly higher. I mean, it's a real small difference, isn't it? But breaks up, I suppose. 10 minutes recovery, and then 3 minutes of what is essentially threshold, 1 minute above threshold. Oh, how long is that? 1 minute recovery times 3. 10 minute recovery times 3 again. So that's going to be a difficult session. So I'm quite tired at the minute. Outlaw Half was last weekend, the Growler was last weekend, I did the Club Chain Gang last night, like, you know, lining up all the excuses. This shouldn't be an impossible session at all, but it's going to require me to, well, give 5 out of 5 effort apparently, according to Zwift if that focuses, which is not going to. So yeah, I look forward to giving 5 out of 5 effort. At the minute, my FTP is set to 320. I haven't tested in yonks. I don't think I need to test or want to test. I'm sort of just gauging what powers I'm doing for what times on, you know, when I'm riding flat out. So even last night's chain gang, I'm getting a real good idea of where my ability is at versus where it's been in the past, and I find I'm able to use that quite well. I think it's perhaps a little higher than 320, but it's definitely not up towards 350, 360 where it has been in the past. So it's not enough to warrant like changing zones and really stretching those intervals in these workouts. After speaking to coach, I'm much better just getting these workouts done, perhaps a little bit undercooked, but taking into account, you know, the bigger picture, and as part of a bigger training week, that's plenty of stimulus. What is it, roughly 2 times half an hour essentially at nearly 300 watts, like, and then some intervals after that. That's absolutely fine. If I get that done, that'll be good. It's going to be a hard workout, 5 out of 5. So it's actually really warm. I'm red hot stood here, so although it's a bit stormy and rainy, it's actually quite hot. I feel a bit nervous. It's been a while since I've got on this bike in here and done an interval session. I did a 1 hour zone 2 spin earlier this week on the indoor bike, but apart from that, it's been weeks since I've been in here. So I'm spinning a few plates at the minute in terms of training. So like, sure, I'm trying to lose weight at a steadier rate than I previously was, trying to get fitter, manage training load, all that sort of stuff. So therefore I have to fuel the training. So this works really well, it being a weekend, because I've had breakfast, let that go down an hour or so, and now I'm training. That means I can then fuel the workout like before, as I have. I can eat during, and then when I finish, I just have lunch. I'm sticking to a normal daily routine, but getting the training done in between, whereas when I train in the evening, it's like, do you have tea before or after training? How much you eat during training if you're eating afterwards? Like, it's just hard to work out, whereas this works really well. So if I could just do this every day, that'd be mint. Fortunately, I can't. So we'll see. Actual fueling, I've got just squash to drink, and then jelly babies, because I've got bags and bags of jelly babies. So I'll get stuck into them. I've got loads of like sports nutrition. I've got some videos coming out soon on sports nutrition, but I've still got a couple to do, so I can't tuck into those just yet. But chews and gels I can, so I've done those. So, right, I hope my legs warm up a bit because this don't feel too good. Come on. So I've only been riding zone 2 for like 17 minutes. I'm red hot, my fan's on max. It is warm today. This is going to be difficult, but everything I have planned this year is going to be difficult as well. And it'll be more difficult if I don't do difficult things like this. So let's get stuck in. So I'm just about to start the first interval. The things I'm already noticing from today is my heart rate's really low. I'm normally about 10 beats a minute higher than this. All that tells me is I'm not suddenly getting superhuman fitness, just a bit tired. But doesn't mean you can't perform, just I'd expect to see a low heart rate in the intervals, I think. We'll see.
Just wanna pack up my things and go. Just wanna be free, just wanna zone. Just wanna flow, just wanna hang with the gang, but sometimes chill on my own. Just wanna do me, just wanna doze. Just wanna live and see how it goes. And the goals just keep on going, yeah. This life we live is a roll. When there's love in the rave, you know. When there's love in the rave, you know.
Okay, it's all well and good me putting these sessions on the internet saying, oh, I'm training so hard. Well, that's not always reality, is it? So I've done 12 minutes at 290 and it is well hard. And I know it should be hard, but I'm just not fit enough to do what I'd hoped to do today. Riding hard last night, you know, nice sleep and then getting up and trying to ride hard the next morning, it's just outside my reach. But you don't know it's outside your reach until you give it a go. And looking back on the coach's instructions for yesterday's ride, I only just seen it this morning. He says don't go too crazy on the chain gang, you'll get more out of the weekend if you control it tonight. I didn't control it at all. So, you know, if I'd have read that, maybe I'd have read it differently last night. But then I do also think, well, when I'm riding with my mates, that's when it's like intensity for free. Like it doesn't take any motivation really to be able to ride hard. So I'd rather do that than this sort of session. Although you don't get the report, you don't get the intervals and heart rate and all that, I think you do still get the training effect. So, you know, you live and learn, don't you? Everything. The whole thing's a learning curve. A relationship between me and coach, and me actually just learning my body at different times of the year, and you know how training develops and so on. So I'm not at all disappointed. What I'm disappointed about is it has now dried up, and if I was not doing a session, I might have just headed out on the road, and then I'd have done 2.5 hours without having to motivate myself through it. Whereas now, 35 minutes in, and if I'm going to stick to the planned duration, I've got another 2 hours to do on the turbo. So I'm going to keep spinning and hopefully I'll cool down a bit and feel a bit better. But it's easy to let one little bad thing affect your whole day or weekend or whatever. I don't want that to happen. So I'm just going to see how I feel the next 20 minutes, half an hour, and call it after that. But yeah, that was hard. I mean, I struggle in the heat as it is. Obviously, I've done no heat prep or training, so perhaps a little unlucky that it's so warm today, but whatever. Roller coaster. I think sometimes as well it's the intimidation of a big session, seeing it on screen ahead of you and thinking, oh, I feel like this now, what am I going to feel like in another hour? It's just quite hard to digest, but you know, whatever. Okay, ride done and dusted. I'll leave the stats on screen with all this balance board. So I stopped the ride 49 minutes in, and because, well, I wasn't getting any cooler, it wasn't feeling any better, and I wasn't enjoying it. And that's the key. If I don't enjoy it, I'm not going to do it. So therefore, it is what it is. Also, you know, looked at the numbers for this week, and after today's ride, I've done 8 hours on the bike. Like the week after outlawing the ground lot, that I'd do as a weekly total, and I've still got a Sunday club ride tomorrow. I think as amateurs or as people who have, you know, work and life commitments, and I know I have a lot less than many people, you think, oh, when I get to the weekend or your time off, you've got to cram in as much as you can. And most of the time you actually have. But in terms of like the training order, fast Friday chain gang, and then a long ride on a Sunday, I don't think I can be doing a hard interval session on the Saturday. So, you know, you live and learn. What I'm going to do though is I'm not going to sack the day off. I'm not going to waste the day. I'm going to stay positive as I am now, genuinely. It is only 10:30, get showered, changed. Walk to the shop for some bits that we've not got in the house, bananas, squash, that sort of stuff. Pepsi Max cherry, you know the deal. Tidy up this S-hole, sort of bike stuff out in the house. I've got various bits I need to sell. I've got like 5 cranks, a wheel, my old Enduro race, Liz's old gravel bike. I just need to get on top of that sort of stuff, sort it out, offload some stuff, get some money, spend money on, don't know, but you know, make some space is the plan. Get on top of those things that I have on a list and don't really make much of a dent in. And I'm planning to. I had an optional run in later today. Now I haven't done a big bike session, I'm going to go for a run probably this evening, hopefully when it's a bit cooler and I feel a bit better. So let's go and get stuck in with the day. Okay, it is the evening. I have had a productive day. Not as productive training-wise as I'd hoped. I haven't ran. We have had a Chinese takeaway. Just feeling a whole lot more rested and like I can attack tomorrow with a renewed sense of, Look at this little feral git. Look at him. He's asleep on the top step. Full on asleep. He's got a lovely house, beds, cat beds, as well as human beds to sleep in. Yet he chooses that top step out there. Feral. Anyway, I'm going to end today's video there. I think it's important to put these days up when it doesn't go to plan as well as the days when it does. But it's not the end of the world today. Half an hour. No, what did I do? 18 minutes? I don't even know. Was it 12 minutes or something at 300 watts or whatever? Fine, it'll do. Better than nothing. On to tomorrow. At least we've got a bank holiday weekend as well, haven't we? So we can do a bit of catching up on Monday as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. What are we doing tonight?
Watching Clarkson's Farm.
Watching Clarkson's Farm. Yes, we've already watched the first episode, haven't we? We're trying to drag it out a bit, not trying to watch them all in one go. We're trying to drag out the enjoyment, but we'll see. Right, thanks for watching. Hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Bye.
Bye.